After 7:15 this morning, I spoke with the woman who has been organising the Sunset Markets down at South Beach in Fremantle, in South Fremantle. They are no longer going ahead. Apparently the council put it out to tender. They wanted an extra $3,000 or the equivalent of $3,000 per weekend. The current operator says, I just cannot make it happen for that. Now, Councillor Maria Vukic is been listening to the program. She has been running advertisements with this radio station because I believe that she's running for mayor. Well, that's what the ads tell me. But she was listening to that. She's called in about that issue. Maria, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. So do you agree with what's happened down at the the Sunset Markets down at South Beach?
Look. There's a number of things here, and the first one is that the South Beach Sunset Markets have been a great community event. And I think that's not the discussion, whether it's a good community event or not. It has been. It's been there for a decade. The council has put in quite a lot of resources, and I think it was time to review how those markets functioned. And we did that last year. And my issue was, love the Sunset Markets, nothing against George Jardine as the operator, but we need to unpack it in terms of the cost. It is still a commercial venture, so that we needed to unpack the amount of subsidies that the council was putting towards the markets. Okay.
So how much was that? How much has the council been subsidised?
Look. If I have a look at it from memory, it could be in the vicinity between $70,000 and $90,000
a year.
For it doesn't run all year.
Each summer.
It's the summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So $70,000 to $90,000, and so now it's gone out to tender. No one's come back and say they can do it commercially. So the outcome seems to be that there'll be no markets this summer.
Well, look. Once again, I think the council don't do this very well. I think all of the markets should go out to tender. The Fremantle market should go out to tender. They're not gone out to tender. There's a deal getting done with them as we speak. I think it should go out to tender. Otherwise, how are we going to meet the requirements of transparency and good governance for the ratepayers?
Yeah,
that's fair enough. I do think that what we haven't done is sat down and unpacked the Fremantle, South Fremantle markets. They've been going for a decade. It was time to have a look at how it was being run, what contributions are we going to put in. It needed to be unpacked like any other project that you would do after a period of time. But
Maria, would you agree that it would be a bad outcome if there were no markets at South Beach this summer?
Look, like I said, I'm a supporter of the markets. I think there is room for them, and certainly we need to sit down and unpack it, and as a council to be able to say, this is fair. Look, for example, infrastructure. There was no lighting down at South Beach. Now, I think that if we're going to have an event like the Sunset Markets, we need to be able to provide some infrastructure such as lighting. So I would say lighting is something that we ought to consider subsidising. We need to unpack what is reasonable so that this event can happen and what is not reasonable, because after all, it is also a commercial event. And you know what, as potential next mayor, I do have an events policy for the entire city, and it would come underneath that policy. Once again, we would have to look at the commercials, we have to look at the subsidies, and we have to look at the outcomes.
All right. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate you calling through. I hope that it's an events policy that sees events actually happen.